Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are still aiming at forming ourselves a delicious sort of Chinese Raj situation. Now, I am noticing one thing, which is earning recognition will advance if we're able to enforce war goal on a major power or above. And this, so I thought it was only great powers, because here, I think I was looking at. Lock in, sir. I think it is. I was looking at this line item, but actually it's only major powers. So I am in the market for some targets, and I think I see quite a few options. Brazil's not as soft a target as people often see it as. Bengal, on the other hand, I could definitely take in a fight. Netherlands I could potentially take in a fight, but they do have a lot of allies. So let's take a look at Greece, Spain, Egypt, and the Ottomans. So Greece, you are in a defensive pact with Russia. That could work, but isn't great. Ottoman Empire, you're in an alliance with Italy, and a defensive pact with Great Britain. That's not great. Egypt, you're in a defensive pact with France. So that's not great. And Spain, you're in a defensive pact with America. Okay, so, you know, no big, easy, soft targets. Now, what about Brazil herself? Let me take a look at what kind of military Brazil has. Because Brazil's a potential target. Brazil's still online and some irregular infantry. Wow. Mobile artillery, but still. I think Brazil might be a reasonable target. 67 battalions. I would need to land with my largest army. But still, it's a potential. There's potential there. Brazil, if I... Let me see, yes, you got an alliance with Uruguay and a defensive pact with Spain. So yeah, there's some potential there. That said, let's get going here. We're still trying to get oligarchy. This will increase my government legitimacy, and more importantly, give me a lot more flexibility to push out the scholar gentry out of the government. Is really where you should read between those lines there, between them their lines. I'm also in the process of trying to get Hindustan, Khalsa Raj, and Afghanistan down to low liberty desires so that I can turn them into subjects. However, Kolhapur is looking like a really tempting target. What would it take? 17.6 infamy. If I want to get enforcing demands on majors, I can't just straight go after, them right away. Ooh, got another entire phase. Excellent. Things are going well. Make protectorate in Madras. What are you trying to do? You're trying to turn Travancore into a protectorate. Well, you've been doing that this whole time. You get him, France. Does France want my help on this? They don't. That's a shame, because I do love piles of money. We are a little bit short on bureaucracy at this point, so we will go ahead and convert a few more government sectors over to the more expensive production. Oh no, we already did all that. Did I upset my petite bourgeoisie? I upset my petite bourgeoisie. That's what happened. So I'm halfway there, and I start needing to build a new government. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Alright, that's okay. Let's see. We'll do... I don't know how... I'm going to need to do quite a few levels to get enough. So we're going to go with all even numbers. And all round numbers to the extent that we can. I recognize that's not exactly a sensible way to design a bureaucracy, but make your own Let's Play if you don't like it. We will... let's go ahead and throw a few of them in straight away to get them done fast. And we'll... Yeah, let's intersperse these universities. Intersperse is the name of the game. So we'll get those done within a reasonable time frame. I am loving this number. That number has Never been higher. Still, GDP per capita is still quite low, but it is what it is. It's going to do an export route for oil. Interesting. It's a great power. I guess it is my prerogative to start snatching up territory in India. The other option is I could go for Patna. Patna has an alliance with Jaipur and a defensive pact with Mayurbanj. So I could grab all of them in one fell swoop with nobody able to really raise a fuss about it. And the temptation to do that is extremely high. But obviously one must be conscientious. Alright, small internal issue in India. There we go, there's my... Wow, still draining. Okay, alright. Well, we'll need to get these to a higher priority. Wow. I may not be able to finish these universities before doing the government sectors at all. In fact, it's looking more and more like I need to get these out faster in order to keep my institution growing. Because that's the goal here. We're trying to grow our education institution, and our, lost a general, our needs are such that we need really a lot. Don't have a great general for that area. You guys are on defense, you need to be on advance. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to take these universities down pretty far. Because we need the other ones to be focused on building up government capacity so that I can get my, my delicious education institution. Hey, there's nationalism. Wonderful. Bengal sides with the Sikh in the diplomatic play against the United States. Well, 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 well. What do we have here? The United States is going for a conqueror war goal on the Sikh. You're down here. Yep, that's right. And Bengal is supporting United States. What would you give me? Not a pile of money, but perhaps a conquer war goal? Let me see. If I grab Pegu, that would be... Oh, this is Bengali. No, this is Bengali Malaya. Is this Bengali Pegu? Where's Pegu? Well, they'll only give me Pegu or Malaya. Neither of those is really a tempting war goal. What about a banned slavery war goal? A banned slavery war goal would be nice. A war reparations war goal, perhaps? What kind of strength does the United States have to bring to bear? Quite a bit. Petite Bourgeois Republic under President Sylvester Dawson. What are you doing with yourself? Census suffrage... Presidential Republic, slavery banned. Alright, so maybe I missed the American Civil War completely. Alright, so you love banning slavery. On the other hand, do I want to get myself another truce with Bengal when I'm, fixing to attack them? And I think the answer is probably no. I can't get a war goal to subjugate them, so we'll leave it for the time being. But I think it's time... I think our infamy is low enough that I want to go after Patna. So how does this look? Tributary. Jaipur will pull in. Mayurbanj will pull in, and I'll grab both of them. Kuch Bihar I can take in a fight. Nepal I can definitely take in a fight. Assam and Manipur I can take in a fight, and it doesn't look like anyone else will get involved. So, we'll throw that right in there. We will mobilize our most impressive army. And we'll station them in Burma. Let's grab our Bohai Gulf fleet and we'll put them here. And that was probably not the right army. I probably need to go in with the first field army because that army has enough, is small enough that the fleet will be able to be fully functional with them. I'm so good. So smart and good at video games. Alright, Jaipur looks like they're gonna go in, so I might end up grabbing them as a target as well. If Egypt piles in, I will grab a bunch of small war goals on them, and that'll be that. They're still primarily going for war reparations. I would love to add a ban slavery CB, but I'm not sure that that's useful. We'll see. Ultimately, we'll see. And then we will land. Jokes. Alright, still keeping the government admin increasing in size. Russia sides with Greece about that thing that I'm not involved in. What are you? Oh, you have a Turkish uprising. Like, what is that? It's a Turkish uprising. I was looking at government. 6 more weeks. Gosh, I need to build up more government sectors. Oh, heck. 2 in Fujian. 4 in Shanxi. 6 in southern Manchuria. Damn the petite bourgeoisie, not giving me their bonus from how happy they are all the time to be living in a country that functions. Be happier, petite bourgeoisie. Nope, I might not need this many, but I still want to have a buffer, because this number is going down very fast. Grassroots support for the law. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for oligarchy has spread like wildfire across Great Qing, spurred on by charismatic speakers and lively debates in small-time social clubs. Well, they're backing what now? Well, who are we to complain? While their support was never a prerequisite for success, it sure doesn't hurt to have it either. Public enthusiasm expedites reform. Solidist movement gets much stronger. Do not want that. Industrials get stronger, or use this common ground to calm the masses. 20% of lower stern pops and Xi'an become more loyalist. I guess I'll take the other one. I do not want a stronger absolutist movement. I'm trying to dilute the strength of the government. Of the government. Thank you very much. I want a government that governs less. 4 weeks. We're close. We're getting there. We are getting there. I maybe don't need all of these. Patna backs down. All right. Well, that is what it is. But we'll see. The chances of my needing most of them are high. Come on, education. Alright, so Patna, you and I are going to be better friends. And I'm going to reduce your payments. So next target is Kolhapur, and we'll wait a little bit for that. So that's interesting. We didn't get Jaipur or Mayurbhanj actually into the action. Which is a little bit of a surprise, but I guess it shouldn't have been that much of a surprise. Now, again, I got 9 more days. Okay. So basically, every time this ticks down, we get 1 day on that tracker, and that's kind of the way it goes. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. Now we finish another government admin, we get more. So we should be getting it very soon. Hey, there it is. Alright, beautiful. So now our question is, how many more of these do we need? I think the answer is just a few to give us a little bit of a buffer. And then I'm going to stop building stuff, and I'm going to leave the entire investment pool to our delightful private sector to consume. Although, I would love to build a slightly larger fleet so that I can transport my largest army. Longest paragraph. Yeah, let's increase the size of the fleets. Let's do a naval buildup in Zhejiang. And obviously that's going to cost the government some more money. One of these days I'll spend some government funds on supporting the economy. I swear, I'm gonna. The business of Great Qing is business. With that said, level 2 investment will prove to be a very, very effective way of getting our literacy up. And then as our literacy gets up, we may eventually be able to earn recognition. So our 40% is our breakpoint for literacy. I would love to have voting rights, but obviously that's not in the cards for now. It might be more later. Scholar officials are much happier than they were before. I might be able to get them to accept some form of democracy if I keep the rural folk in there. Russia sides with Persia. Oh, Great Britain. You flawed yet fiery jewel. I guess they finished with their civil war. Still in position 1. Let's see what their devastation looks like. that's right. Civil wars don't cause devastation. Never been super clear on why that is. I mean, I guess I really know why that is. Yes! Haha, yes! Alright, so, time to get the lads better guns. Alright, so, this does actually put me close to the forefront from a military technology standpoint. So where am I at military now? I'm going to finish out repeaters, and then we're going to grab hand crank machine gun. And after that, the world is my oyster. So I got ironclad spreading. Ironclad is pretty good. But let's take a look in society. I got a lot of tier 2s to knock out in society. So I'm going to grab modern sewerage. We're going to grab, oh gosh, I need psychiatry as well. Quinine, organized sports, and joint stock companies. And then we'll grab steel frame construction. Steel frame construction is going to crack open, is going to crack the game wide open for us. I am going to cease building once I finish with these naval bases, because I am costing the government a significant amount. Although that will be a drain on the investment pool. I may have built a little too much construction. I know that's basically heresy in the Victoria 3 world, but I think the fact is, it simply is what it is. I've got a lot of authority to play with, though. I could try a large consumption tax, something likely to bring in a lot of cash flow, but I don't wish to do that necessarily. I would prefer to keep taxes low and authority high, to speed this up. Discord within the petite bourgeoisie. An influential faction within the petite bourgeoisie has grown frustrated with their competitors' neutrality on the topic of oligarchy. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone. With their support, the bill shall pass, 15% increased enactment chance. Or the industrialists extend an open hand to these mavericks. 10% enactment chance, but significantly weaker petite bourgeoisie, stronger industrialists. I'm going to go with the first one. It's going to weaken the petite bourgeoisie just a little bit. But it's going to get me more enactment chance. I didn't plan this right. I didn't plan this right at all. 1 second. Don't do anything. I'm going to step away from the game for just a second. If everything falls apart, I'm blaming you. I made it. What happened? Just the war in Persia. We knew that was going to happen. We knew that was going to happen. Alright, so we're finishing out our construction, our new naval bases. Those naval bases ended up being pretty expensive. Am I in a situation? I might be in a situation. I need to get the petite bourgeoisie happier, gosh darn it. They're mad about the low government wages, but absolutely no chance that's going to increase. What are my options? I could tax furniture. I could cut the tobacco tax and tax grain, but that's very, very extreme. I don't necessarily want to do that. Ooh. I might need to just raise taxes across the board. Let's get to oligarchy first. So we're going to go into debt. I think that's a reasonable conclusion. We're going to go into debt. We're going to hope the private sector can handle construction for a bit because we're going to go into debt. But I've got my fragile unity's doing okay. Ottoman Empire sides with Oman against rebellion. You know what? I think building up market access is better. Well, here's the thing. Debt's very expensive when you're an unrecognized power. I'm going to get to oligarchy, and then I'm hoping and praying that I can get there this go. Because I'm still on my way there. And if I can get there, that'll get me a bunch more legitimacy, and that'll make things a lot easier. Because I'm getting a lot of radicals right now. just due to my government being illegitimate. Split evenly as it is between the rural folk and the scholar officials. But once we're down to an oligarchy, it'll be a lot easier to manage that stuff. Maybe I can distract them with bread and circuses, and by bread and circuses, I mean a war against Kolhapur. Oh, speaking of which, we're getting these powers down in Liberty Desire. I think I'm going to grab Afghanistan first, so I'll have to wait a little longer. Because the others are all going to be slower. Although Patna is... We're moving up to excellent relations with Patna. Oh, what is this? A Diwali uprising against the Khalsa Raj. Well, their army seems pretty weak. So maybe I'll just send a Midland-sized army. I don't want to weaken my subject state here. So I will send an army. Investment pool is still continuing to increase in size, so I'm feeling pretty alright. And they are building railways. So that's good. Border violation in Guangxi. A group of Protestant missionaries hailing from the United States of America have been caught several miles past the border of Guangxi province, which foreigners are forbidden to access. That's the 13th one we've caught in as many weeks. This one is the first American that's come for a while. Wait, look at these papers. This one's protected. What can we do? Does it matter? Just a lost Christian who can't read. Our law applies, his does not. Bring them to the border and have them executed. Foreign missionaries will not attempt to access Guangxi for the next 10 years, but deteriorate its relations with America. Enforce the 6th clause of our law against superstitions. 2% of aristocrats in the Tarim Basin become more loyalist. American relations deteriorate by 10. They will be sold as slaves. Or open the province to limited travel. 5% of Confucian pops become more radical, and Guangxi will be open to missionary efforts. You know, our relations with the United States are good. Kill him. Slicey, slicey. How do you feel about that, America? They're fine. They're chill. What's a couple of dead Americans? They shot at each other a bunch during their Civil War, I bet. I bet their Civil War involved a lot of dead Americans. It's fine. It's fine. It's chill. It's absolutely there. Vibin'. Frankly, vibin'. What a... Fruit. Let's tax fruit. A lot of fruit sales in China. Come on, give me oligarchy. Oligarchy sounds like a situation where the country is ruled by a guy named Oleg. Hooray! Alright, so that's significantly reduced authority, but let's see what we can do. We can create... Okay, now the big thing is, I want universal suffrage. Is there anyone who would be happy with that? Only the trade unions. Scaro officials will go down to minus 11. I can live... Ugh. The armed forces being unhappy is really a risk. If I went to census, no, the scholar officials would be equally unhappy about that. I really want to do universal, but I think that's not in the cards. What does it look like if we pull the petite bourgeoisie in? Okay, so this is a good, solid government right here. Can't put the industrialists in with the rural folk, unfortunately. So we'll just have to do this for now. And now the government's legitimate, and we can do what we want to do. Now, if we go to... These are still looking less effective financially. Obviously, I would love to do some real home affairs, but I can't afford it. What with all the everythings? All the everythings that we're doing. So we're starting to go into debt, but I'm doing okay for the fragile unity situation. I haven't defaulted or anything, so I think maybe we leave things as they are for now and focus on external affairs, by which I mean invading Kolhapur and turning them into a tributary, which is something I want to do long term. Afghanistan is getting there. How long is this going to take? They're currently at 30. You're going down by 0.8 per week, so it's down by 1 every 12 weeks. So it's like a year and change. It'll be about a year and change until they're ready to be reduced in autonomy. And I'm very comfortable with that. Plain Blue Banner Army is going to be winning a fight here. How much am I paying in interest? Quite a bit. Quite a bit for such a small debt. But you are. Cambodia is improving relations. I think now that we're here, we hike taxes. And unfortunately, that just is what it is. I can't afford to be in any kind of debt on account of my fragile unity. I've also run out my... No, investment pool's still growing. Investment pool's still growing. They're not using the entire construction sector's capacity, but they are using plain enough of it. Oh, these guys are on defense. Get going. Get going. Fight a battle, sir. Fight a battle. Here we go. Looking pretty good. On the mode of communication of cholera. The source of a cholera outbreak in Guangzhou has been traced by an indigenous surgeon apothecary. Why are you cutting that guy's leg off? It's cholera. That's not where the cholera... Fire this doctor! Fire him! This has led to the great advancements in the field of public health. The results of the inquiry, then, is that there has been no particular outbreak or prevalence of cholera in this part of London except among the persons who are in the habit of drinking the water of the above-mentioned pump well. In consequence of what I said, the handle of the pump was removed on the following day. We need to keep the filth off the streets. 3.5k progress towards modern sewerage. 2% mortality in western Guangdong for 2 years. You know, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that our people are expendable, but, you know, not a terrible trade, all things considered. I have a lot of labor available in the country and very, very little capacity to keep innovation high. Although it is growing. It is growing, and a lot of it's flowing into tech spread, which I am pleased about, and which I am focusing on keeping high. Paper is a little expensive. That's interesting. So is ammunition. Private sector is building some paper mills. Not so much munitions industries. So we'll see. We've got a broken supply line now, and they're camouflaged. So this battle's not going as well as it could be, but I'm hoping it will sort itself out in good order pretty soon. We got some occupation, so I think this war is gonna be just fine. So I'm going after Sind. A Sindhi radical revolt. Fair enough. Sind, my friend. I might be able to turn them into a subject. That would be easy money, in this case, somewhat literally. Sind, my friend. I'm not able to turn them into a subject. Sad. Pathetic. Portugal sides with Sind. Well, there you go. Do they become a subject? No. That's all I care about. Kolhapur sides with Sind as well. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Portugal, you got a heck of a flag. Beautiful. We kept the Raj together. The Khalsa Raj, that is. Don't know what Raj you could be talking about other than that. I certainly don't see any other Rajas around here. Certainly not a Raj belonging to any kind of Europeans, that's for sure. We're getting there. We're getting there with Afghanistan. Although, I do have Khalsa Raj down to low, so I could convert them over. And Hindustan is close as well. But I want to get Afghanistan first. The others will be basically trivial to accomplish once those things happen. Let's, 17.6, I'm at 4. Let's go for Kolhapur. Let me see. Who's going to step in? Portugal could step in. Baroda could step in. I feel like I can take Portugal in a fight. Now that I've got... Yeah, Portugal's a minor. I can take Portugal in a fight. The real question is who else is going to be involved. Ottomans could be. Not France, not Britain. Mysore, there's a chance. A couple of other powers in the subcontinent. Yeah, I think I can make this happen. 17.6 infamy, I'm at force. That won't take us above 25. Let's do it. Alright. We'll just go ahead and mobilize... You know what? I don't need to mobilize anyone. Not yet, at least. Plenty of time for that. We'll get right into our our war. Taxes are high. It's not good to be in war with high taxes. But I got a little bit of a buffer at this point. Let's drop taxes back to the and we unlock the ironclad. That's fun. That's fun. So maybe they'll pull out of this other war. Looks like they didn't. Looks like they're gonna be in there. So the question now is Portugal gonna step in? It looks like they are. They're leaning that way. I could sway France with a war goal to conquer Mahashatra. That doesn't seem like the right call. So we'll leave the French out of it. We'll leave the French out of it. For now. Now when we get Kolhapur, we'll get Kolhapur. Hey, chemical bleaching. Beautiful. Actually, that's going to be really, really good, because now I can increase the supply of paper by a ton. Oh, and I got breech loaders in the artillery sector as well. Paper bleaching. You know what, we're going to put all these at leaded glass for now, and just see what comes of it. Ooh, getting that increase in paper actually brought the government budgets much better in line. In fact, I'm feeling pretty rock solid. I'm really running a risk with not putting any, with not getting an army mobilized at present. But if Portugal doesn't step in, I think I'm going to be good to go. I got it all to... we'll go a little. Missionary hospital opens in Guangzhou. Protestant missionaries have opened a charity hospital in Guangzhou, spreading their gospel whilst offering free treatment to the sick and wounded. God welcomes all to his house of healing. A new hospital in western Guangzhou for those most in need. Jesus welcomes all. And he called to his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits, to cast them out and to heal every disease and every affliction. They're welcome to operate in the region. Minus 50% conversion, minus 10% mortality, 1% of non-Protestant pops become Protestant, or halt this unauthorized construction, extra radicals. You know what? We'll go with reduced conversion. 10% reduced mortality is a lot. I feel like that's worth it. I'm basically going to go until this war starts, and I'm like gotten going into it and ready to make things happen. I'll probably go to the end of March. Anarchist revolt in Holstein. Can I say, cool ass flag? Iron Cross on anarchy background, extremely cool. Alright, well no one's getting into this business, so we'll just mobilize the first field army, send them to Burma, and we'll get them invading as soon as the time comes. I'm feeling extremely confident. What does the enemy have here? Line infantry and mobile artillery? Couldn't be me. I got shrapnel artillery, baby. It's the future. Beautiful. 2 arms. Let's get this naval invasion going. Cash flow's looking pretty good now. Oh, I'm really glad I got chemical bleaching. Obviously, I'm not building as much as I could be, but I'm building a solid amount, and the investment pool is reasonably full. So I'm feeling pretty good about my choices overall. I was able to get my education sector increased in size, which is a significant investment. I've been very careful balancing my cash flow. All right, that is all we got for this episode, though, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.